So Donald here, I would say, is a city builder aficionado, if that's a real word. I don't know. But he's got a little bit of experience playing city builders, but he doesn't know what City Skylines is. And I've had a little bit of experience, so I'm going to show him the ropes today of how to play this amazing new city builder game. Donald, what are you expecting? What do you want to be able to do in this?
I want to build some skylines because it's called City Skylines.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Let's teach Donald the basics. So this is City Skylines, Donald, and I know what you're thinking. I know that you probably heard the terribleness of SimCity, and you're afraid that we only have this area to work in. Correct? That's your immediate kind of presumption.
That is my fear.
Okay, trust me, Donald. I'm about to blow your mind, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. Let's just know that this will definitely not be the only area that you can work in. So the first thing you want to do is this is the highway. This is how you're gonna connect all of the citizens and get them into your town, obviously. So let's start off with the road. Now it's kind of weird. I don't know why this might probably get patched up, but for right now, you got to put down a road in order to get access to like a few different roads. So just put it down and then deconstruct it. Now you have access to a little bit more. Just kind of know that. I don't know, that might be patched in later on, different versions. So here, I want to, before we even get into this, the number one fucking rule I can tell you, Donald, and the biggest basic to this game is you have to always be conscious of traffic. If you don't set up your city right to be able to like really to be able to support like thousands of people, you're done from the very beginning. You know what I mean? So you got to really think, very important ways of ways you can like construct your city. So like usually people just start off with like a small little road, a little 2-lane road. Yeah, that's not gonna last very long. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to either upgrade that road or whatever. And the biggest thing about city builders in general is you want to make sure that you're always kind of future thinking. You're always thinking about the future, thinking about what's gonna happen when my town becomes a city. What happens when my cities becomes a massive metropolis or whatever. I can't speak the English right now. Yeah, so you want to be thinking about that. So I can tell you right now, a lot of people immediately think, okay, so I should throw down a 6-lane road. That's not necessarily the right idea. You want to avoid...
I was going to say, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's, even my own's opinion was just to throw down a 6-lane road. And we can actually do that and be okay. We won't be penalized because if you throw down a road, especially when you don't even play the game, and you don't let any kind of time go by, you can go ahead and bulldoze it and get most of your money back. I don't think you get everything back, but you get most of it back. So yeah, you don't necessarily want to throw down the 6-lane road. You do kind of want to work with avoiding intersections, especially avoiding lights. Avoiding those traffic lights, that will back up your town so bad. And we're going to get into all the bad things, all the bad reasons traffic is for your town. So what I like to do, weirdly enough, is what I might do? You want to really focus on one-way roads. We're kind of familiar with that. We live in California. I mean, one-way roads.
One-way roads.
This is so bad. They're not necessarily the best thing in the world. I mean, they are the best thing in the world, but I mean, like, we don't really, as Californians, we kind of get annoyed with them. I feel like I get annoyed with them, but in this game, they're a lot better than the 6-lane roads. You know what? Here, let me just show you this new theory that I have. Watch this. So, what you want to do is you have different sorts of forms. You can form different types of roads. You can build just the straight, and it has like obviously these little beautiful graphics that you can see, exactly like the different units. But we're gonna do like a curve. Now, this is my opinion. Now, watch this. What we do is we're gonna build it like this. So you curve it. You click like that, so it tells the game, okay, this is how I want it to curve, and boom. So we're gonna make like a little circle town. This game's all about experimentation, like how to build the most efficient city. What I like to do is I like to build a circle town just like this, one way on the outside. We do one way on the outside, and on the inside we're gonna have more ways. They can go like kind of double. So like what you do, maybe now we kind of give it the 2-lane road. Now, obviously, this isn't going to last us like the entire game. We're going to have to kind of mess with it a little bit later on in order to make it more efficient towards the later parts of this game. But for now, it works. I mean, I've got some experience with it. This works very well for a good amount of time. Before, obviously, I mean, once you get like to a certain size, it does get pretty tough. But from what I've seen, it's a really simple thing. Now, you have to think that you're going to be having all sorts of different... What are they called? You need to have resources. You need to have police officers. You need to have garbage truck guys. You need to have, medical, hospitals, education. So all that stuff needs to be kept in mind. And building your city, that's like a little bit off, but that's okay. Building your city in like kind of in a kind of direction like this is good because you're giving them maybe that's okay. That's fine. It looks a little stupid, but whatever. For now, for this tutorial, it's going to work. So when you build those resources, which we don't have the opportunity because the game really kind of progresses you upward, which is nice. It kind of starts you off easy, and then it gets really hard really fast. So the game's going to give you access to a lot more of these resources. You want to put them in the middle of your town because it's only going to, I guess, you want people to be able to get to it as fast as possible is what I'm trying to say. So the first thing you do, and I think you probably have this experience, most town builders work like this, you just kind of designate an area and then people start to move in. So the green is residential. This is where your actual citizens are going to start to move in. So let's go ahead and slap down. You can actually kind of throw this here. And you can slap down and start making people houses. So once I press play, citizens are going to kind of come off the highway and begin to build their towns, and that's how you kind of begin this game. So let's go ahead and kind of press play for a little bit here. Now, what do you need? What do you need, Donald? As when you're having a house, what do you need in a house?
Food.
You do need food. Yeah, okay, you do need food. That's a really good ass point.
Well, are you going more basic? Like
I'm going basic.
Electricity.
Yes, exactly.
And running water.
Boom, perfect. You need electricity and running water. You're right, Donald. You're totally right. So let's make sure that we do that. Now, in terms of resources in this game, or energy, you have two choices from the very beginning. You can do the coal power plant and the wind turbine. It's very, as of right now, they might patch the game to make it a little bit different, but it's very, very smart to always go with the wind turbine. Always. The coal power plant is going to cost you more, and it's going to be... It's gonna be highly pollution. It's gonna pollute the area, and that pollution is definitely gonna affect your citizens. Gonna affect the health. It's gonna be pretty bad. Just trust me on this. Always build the wind turbine or the windmill. The mill. I guess we kind of know it more like a windmill. And this is the most basic map. So we actually have a lot of access to. When you're trying to build a wind turbine, you need to find an area with a lot of wind to give you the most amount of energy. And you're looking for those 8 megawatts. 8 megawatts means that you're going to get you like the full power, I guess. So the darker the area, the more power it can get you. Now you can see that there's like a little headphone, right? You see that little headphone below, and there's like a circle.
Yep.
There is no noise pollution in this game, so you have to be conscious of that. Your citizens are not going to like a very loud, noisy area. So because there's actually a river over here, we're going to put the wind turbine right close to the water, and you'll see why soon. So we're just going to build one for now, and that we're gonna definitely have to build way more of those. That's something you have to keep in mind. If you do go for the wind turbine, you need to build a ton more throughout the game.
So you can't do like a combination between coal power and turbines?
You can, but it's just recommended you don't, because you don't have that much money to start off with. And you need to be able to get your town running off the ground with the small amount of money that you have. So you have to be very conservative with your money. So the way this game works is there is an upstream and a downstream. So you have to be kind of conscious, because shit will go into the water, and shit can be drunken by your citizens.
You always piss downstream.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if you guys know that, but you always piss downstream.
That's right. So we're going to make sure that we put, as you can see, there's also noise pollution. Just about everything kind of produces noise pollution throughout this game, so you have to keep it in mind. You want to put these loud sort of buildings away from your town. So this is going to be where we suck up the water, and this is where we shit out the water. And we're gonna try to put this as far downstream as we can. Now it's kind of, you got to be kind of careful. In the very beginning, we have all of our resources kind of spread out. We're gonna have to make, because you obviously want to make sure that these are gonna need electricity in order to function. So it's gonna cost you a lot more money in order to kind of drag out, because we have to get up some power lines to make sure that these resources get their energy. So it's going to cost you a little bit more money, but that's fine. In the future, it won't be that bad. So we're going to put up these power lines, and don't worry, as our town progresses, these power lines will not be there for that long. We can kind of take them down because we won't need them to go as far. So we have our first town built this way. We'll maybe I guess I'll build it here for now and just expect them to come over this way. So anyways, as you can see, that little blue area just means that you don't have to actually connect it. It doesn't need to be literally connected at all. It just has to be within that blue zone. Once it's in that blue zone, it spreads out to everything, and you're gonna see that in our town. If this was all covered in a little blue zone, if you just have this one power line going this way, you're good. It's going to connect the whole city. So it's pretty simple in that way. So after we built the intake of water and stuff like that, let's go ahead and throw down some water pipes. Obviously, as we talked about, water is a pretty basic need that most people, I guess, need, I guess. So let's throw down a couple of those. And you need to connect, just so you know, the water in this game is kind of a dual pipe. So one for taking back the crappy poopy water, and one for bringing the fresh water in. So you don't have to worry about separating the sewage from the clean, stuff like that. The water pipes do that for you. So, you know what I mean? You don't have to, ever really worry about that. and we need to obviously connect the rest of our town. I'm going to try to be as efficient as possible. You want to be very, very careful with your money in the beginning. There's a lot of things to build, and you want to be kind of very frugal with exactly the sort of things that you do. I know that like that's not like super straight and stuff like that. I'm just trying to connect the rest of this. So you want to be very frugal. You don't want to build past your needs. Shit.
And you done.
Shit. Yes, I did. You don't want to build past your needs. That's bad. Once you build past your needs, you're not gonna have enough money. You need to build small. That's what the developers continue to kind of throw in our face. You got to build small, and then kind of work your way around it. So let's go ahead and press play. Finally, you kind of have 3 different speeds. You have 1 speed, 2 speed, and 3 speed. For the most part, 1 speed is way too slow. I suggest for anybody just playing 3 speed. It's the fastest way, and we have all of our stuff connected. Well, actually, electricity is not connected yet. That's why you see this little icon, and that's how the game is going to kind of pretty much communicate with you throughout this. Is going to show you icons. See, everyone's like freaking out because they don't have electricity. That's why you're seeing all these icons. Let's hope that we get up a few more buildings around this area.
I say just build. I say this is my opinion.
Okay.
My professional opinion.
Okay, yeah, I know your professional opinion
is just.
Yeah, just
build the tower over it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I didn't want to do that, but okay, we're gonna do it. So immediately, like, there's no like sort of like you don't have to wait for builders to get over there or anything like that. It just happens instantly. Once you place down something, boom, you don't have to wait for the game to build it or whatever you want to call it. So there we go. So you want to keep your eyes here on these bars. Now I know it kind of looks like the interface looks a little bit confusing. It's not really that confusing. It's pretty simple. There's not that much stuff you need to worry about. You always want to kind of focus on these bars. Usually there's a green bar here, but since we've completely satisfied the residential area, so for right now there's no one else that wants to move into our little town, we have to satisfy the other 2 zones that we can kind of throw into our city. We have to satisfy the commercial zones as well as the industrial zones. Now, the industrial zones how we actually make money. That's where our people want to work. We want to work in industrial zones. But the problem is industrial zones cause a lot of pollution. They cause a lot of noise pollution. They're very ugly to look at. People don't want to live around industrial zones, so we want to build that kind of away from our town. I mean, right, Donald? Have you ever seen a really nasty industrial area?
Yes.
We don't want to live there.
We don't.
Most of California, it's got like just industry everywhere.
I live next to a refinery.
Yes.
I know this is true.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of build, I think, a little bit further away. This is gonna be like our unit for just houses and maybe a few little commercial. And I guess we'll build a 6-lane. Even though I talked about maybe a six lane isn't the most efficient, we don't want to just have a 1-way. But yeah,
this is for work.
Yeah, this is for work. Yeah,
there's always traffic jams.
That's true.
On the 405 and 710. They gotta coming home from work.
They got to be expecting it. So right now, I still have the curved little tool here. We just want the straight. The straight is the best way. We're gonna go in between these power lines so we don't get any problems. And yeah, we want a good amount because we're gonna need to grow all these areas. Right now, all these areas are gonna become just way larger than we're seeing. We want to kind of get efficiency. So like, if we could possibly build it. Maybe somewhat where you see those squares, that's where that's exactly the zone. I guess that's fine. That's the zone that they can reach out to. So you kind of want to be efficient and save space, but that's never mind. I want to completely retract that statement because this is not SimCity. You are going to have pretty much an unlimited amount of space. So don't worry about being like super efficient with your town. It's you don't got to worry about that at all. So now we need to designate our industrial zone. You click on the icon and then we're just going to drag and drop. We're going to use this little tool. And boom, this is all going to be for industry. And what we should do is maybe because there's a lot of commercial needs, let's go ahead and build a little bit of that. So for right now in the beginning of the game, because I'm just trying to teach you the basics, we're not going to go super in depth here. Let's actually not do over here because you want to be careful. You don't want like especially your town to be living close to the industry. That's why I'm kind of keeping this space. Commercial, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if commercial can be close to the industry. But generally, you kind of want to keep it away. You kind of want to keep it away because you're going to see the nasty crap that comes out of this zone. It's going to be pretty bad. So as you see, as they begin to build, we will begin to see these like sort of infographs lower and lower. They're going to get lower and lower. And that's one thing. They need to have electricity. They already have electricity just, the way we've just got really lucky. They've got electricity. They don't have water. So let's make sure that they get water connected. Build a few more pipes like that. Maybe there and there. Donald, you have any questions so far? What's on your mind so far?
What's your main goal?
So
what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get everybody to come live in your city?
Yeah, so
Are you trying to rule the world?
You're trying to build the biggest city of all and just try to keep it sustainable. You want to sustain a city. Right now, we only have 175 people. That's nothing. I don't even know what they classify that. That's like a group. We've got a group of people living in like an area. So you get a maximum. Paradox is, I guess, Colossal Order has talked about it. You can have 1 million citizens. The game supports up to 1 million citizens within your massive city. So you want to get as high up as you can. Now, it's really extremely difficult. I mean, things start getting unbelievably complicated at 25,000 citizens. So, I mean, the game gets really, really crazy really quick. Now, right now, it's easy. Right now, I mean, we're pressing a few buttons, we're making things happen. That's the way it's supposed to go. But we're going to end it right there. We give different achievements when you get to a certain amount of population in your town. I believe 400 is the next one. And then with every single milestone you pass up, you get more money, and you get more opportunities to build different sort of I guess luxuries, you kind of call them, I don't know, different sort of things. Right now we can't, we're just trying to build the basics of our town. But anyways, guys, I guess we're going to have to stop right there. Donald, any last questions before we move on to part 2? Any sort of basic questions that you might be confused about, like the purpose of this game? That was a good question. That was a good question at first.
That's what I'm here for. Where's the disasters?
Oh, the disasters. So the disasters will somewhat come. I mean, the disasters are kind of going to be user error.
I want to stop you right there, Drew. Our people need electricity.
They do. They do need
side.
electricity, and we're gonna get to that next video because there's reasons. For reasons. All right, guys. We'll wait till next time. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in part 2.